The Fox 61 News at 6 starts now.
And thanks for joining me here at 6. I'm Sarah Sanchez. We begin tonight with some breaking news. One person has been arrested after a fight at an apartment. One person is dead. It happened Saturday night at an apartment building on Grove Street in Waterbury. Police say they responded to reports of a fight involving a weapon. 2 men had cuts and were taken to the hospital, where one died. Police say 47-year-old Kendron Barnes was one of the men involved in that fight. He was taken into custody today, and he has since been charged with murder. Police say Barnes has an extensive history of violence in Connecticut that dates back to 1995. He's been arrested dozens of times, we're told. Barnes is being held on a $2.5 million bond. Anyone with information who might have witnessed something is asked to contact Waterbury Police. Now to a traffic impact alert. This one's out of Glastonbury. Police say Hebron Avenue is shut down in both directions from Pembroke and Weir after a crash there. We're told the closing will last throughout the evening. So if you're heading around town, if you know anyone heading home from work, you will have to find a detour. No word yet on any injuries. Of course, we'll keep you updated on the road update there. The Hartford firefighters Local 760 said it took a long, grueling year of negotiations to finalize a new contract with the city. Now that it's done, both sides say they're happy with the result, and they're not the only ones either. Fox 61's Alicia Hercules is in Hartford with details on what's in that contract.
About a week after the contract was agreed to, we're working to find out exactly how big of a raise these firefighters are getting. But we can tell you it's their largest raise in decades, and they're getting better benefits and job protections.
I think the fire department does a great job.
Roy Lewis lives in Weathersfield but visits Hartford often. He says the firefighters are worth the extra pay.
I'm glad they got a contract. I think it'll be good for the city.
It took 357 days of negotiations, and in a Facebook post, the union says members stood their ground and refused to settle for less. The union's vice president, Paul Mata, gave Fox 61 a statement that says, quote, "For too long, firefighters in the busiest department in the state were among the lowest paid while doing the most demanding work. Crews have handled record-breaking call volumes and some of the most challenging structural fires in Connecticut's recent history, under a pay scale that did not reflect the true value of their sacrifice." Hartford Mayor Arunan Arlampalam congratulated the union as well, saying, quote, "I want to thank the union leadership for their persistence and for staying at the table to ensure we reached a deal that is fair, sustainable, and gives our firefighters the largest wage increase in several decades, placing our fire department among the highest paid of any big city in the state." The Hartford City Council will act on the agreement in a meeting early next month, and we may get more details on the numbers then. In Hartford, Alicia Hercules, Fox 61.
You got to check this out. It was a snowy weekend for the state. We all saw that. And these pictures were shared by Justin Zaperi on social media yesterday morning. He said heavy frost and freezing happened along the Connecticut River, which made for this beautiful winter landscape. It was so beautiful, I didn't want to see it go. Meteorologist Sam Sampieri is here with the first check of the forecast. Yeah, now my backyard's just kind of, I don't even know what to call it, like that wet slush, Sam?
Yes, and it's all going to turn concrete. Oh, yeah, because these temperatures are going to go below freezing, and they're going to stay below freezing for days to come. Yes, during the afternoon hours, we may get temperatures in the low 30s, but that's about it. We're already down to 36 in Torrington, 38 in New Milford, but we're still in the 40s in central, eastern, southern Connecticut. That colder air is starting to gradually ooze in. That's good news. At least we're not having a flash freeze, because we have a lot of standing water from the snow melt. We did pick up a ½ inch of rain, and when you count the freezing rain, almost 3/4 of an inch. And you see the winds are starting to turn around in Windsor Locks and Hartford to the west-southwest, already to the north of Meriden. So that cold front about ready to make its way across eastern Connecticut, already seeing wind gusts of up near 25 to 30 miles per hour. Visibility now clearing out. We had quite a bit of fog today because of the warm air over the snowpack. A couple of snow showers in northern Connecticut. Other than that, we could have a few flurries that may make it into southern New England during the next few hours this evening. Otherwise, yes, it's partly cloudy right now, chance for a flurry, and then we'll refreeze things overnight as we fall back into the 20s. And during the day tomorrow, basically windy and cold with highs only in the 20s. Winds could gust 30 to 40 miles per hour. Wind chill feeling like the teens all day long. Coming up, I'll detail the all-important New Year's Eve, New Year Day forecast. And will there be any more snow or rain this week? I'll have the details coming up in a few minutes. Sarah?
Thank you, Sam. Governor Ned Lamont has activated the state's severe cold weather protocol. It's in effect now through noon Sunday. This is the 4th time this month that protocol has been activated. This is to make sure the most vulnerable populations can get protection from the cold. Anyone in need of shelter or warming center is urged to visit 211ct.org or call 211 to find available locations. Even though folks in Waterbury have had their water restored for days now, city crews were back to work on Thomaston Avenue today. We're told this is where the city's biggest infrastructure failures are located. Homes and businesses were without water for 4 days and just before the Christmas holiday. So what are they working on if everyone already has their water back on? Fox 61's Jamel Johnson reports city officials say now they're looking to the future.
The repairs being done on Thomaston Avenue aren't just a temporary fix. Officials say the work being done lessens the risk of future water main breaks and makes it so that when breaks do happen, the impact is on a smaller scale. It's business as usual again for crews in Waterbury as they continue patching up what officials are calling one of the worst water main breaks in the city's history. But Water Superintendent Bradley Millay says the work going on is not just a patch job.
It can always happen again. I mean, you can always have a catastrophic break somewhere. All we can do is try to mitigate how we will handle it if it does happen. You do whatever you can to lessen that risk, and that's what we're doing.
The city is repairing a 36-inch high-pressure main to help lessen the impact of future breaks. Before the last break, the city was also working on relining a 42-inch main. Once done, officials believe both mains in tandem will stabilize the area and prepare them for future breaks.
By making this repair at this time in conjunction with the 42, it's going to allow us to go back to the city being fed by both high service mains, which we've been without for the past 7 months or 8 months now. Should we have a break somewhere, the other line is capable of taking care of the city. We don't lose water anywhere.
Waterbury Mayor Paul Pernaruski says repairs halted over the holiday in case crews ran into further issues, wanting everyone to have water during Christmas. When work resumed, they started to repair a leak in the emergency stop valve that was put in during the initial break.
It bent a little bit at the bottom and water was getting through. It was working, but water was getting through, which was still filling the hole. In order to start doing the repairs, we had to get the water to stop flowing into that hole. Last night, we were able to do that.
As crews continue repairs, Thomaston Avenue remains closed, forcing people to find other ways to get home or to work.
The businesses have been open throughout all of this. It's just been a little bit difficult. I think people have been acclimated to coming the other way. But, you know, these are the pains that are necessary to make the improvements that are necessary.
Officials say the city ends up with at least 30 to 40 main breaks a year. Some of them are bigger than others, but they don't want breaks on this scale to be a common occurrence.
Nobody wants to live through this again. It's important that we're all on the same page, and I think we are. You know, this stuff has to be repaired, has to be gotten out of the ground, and it needs to be replaced and brought up to at least, you know, a more modern standard in the ground that allows us to prevent people from having loss of water.
The expected completion timeline for the repairs is 10 to 12 days. That's when drivers can expect Thomaston Avenue to be back open again. But for now in Waterbury, Jamel Johnson, Fox 61.
A caregiver at a Connecticut group home is accused of abusing people in their care. North Branford police say a months-long investigation uncovered abuse of 2 nonverbal adults with developmental disabilities at a state-run group home on DeForest Road. Authorities arrested Khatib Abbas of Hamden on charges including reckless endangerment and disorderly conduct. He'll be in court January 9th. And police in Hawaii are investigating a possible drowning of a Connecticut man. This happened Friday afternoon. Police say Brian Coppola of Bethlehem was snorkeling with a family member when he showed signs of distress. They say he was unresponsive when he was brought to shore and was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. Police say no foul play is suspected, but they're still investigating exactly how he died. Right now, police are still searching for a driver after a deadly hit and run in Waterbury. Police say Sabrina Starkey was hit and left in the road last night on Reedville Drive. The driver took off before help even got there. Starkey died at the hospital. Investigators are urging anyone who saw or heard anything to come forward. A routine traffic stop led to the arrest of a man wanted in a domestic violence case. South Windsor police say Jesse Noyes of Wallingford was taken into custody after officers discovered an active warrant during a stop in Enfield. The charges stem from a 2023 incident where police say he caused a disturbance and damaged property at a home while a child was there. Noyes was also wanted on 2 failures to appear warrants. Hartford firefighters battled a basement fire this morning at a multifamily home on Mann Street. This is in the city's south end. This happened just after 8:30. Fire crews arrived to smoke billowing from this 2.5-story building. Thankfully, no one was hurt. The cause of the fire is under investigation, and the Red Cross is helping everyone who is now without a home. We're getting a closer look at a vacant building in Hartford that was destroyed by a fire. The fire happened over the weekend on Franklin Avenue. Environmental services say multiple sides of the building collapsed during the fire, with one side falling onto another building. Thankfully, no one was hurt. We have exciting news from the New Hartford Fire Department. It just got a new Hearst Jaws of Life cutter for Engine 7. It's been fully funded by 2 grants. State Farm and the National Volunteer Fire Council gave the department $10,000 for the equipment. The department says they're grateful for these amazing organizations for supporting public safety. We have a heads up. If you use CT Transit, there are some changes coming up in the new year. Beginning January 11th, several bus routes will see some time changes, and some stops and express services are being adjusted across Hartford and New Haven. The adjustments are being made to improve reliability to their services, according to officials. You can find a link to the full list of routes and schedules on our website, fox61.com. You can just click on the links page. If you're missing some Christmas gifts, listen up. East Lyme police said earlier today a helpful passerby actually found more than a dozen wrapped Christmas gifts on the side of the road. They said if your gifts are missing, they might have taken an unexpected detour. You can contact the East Lyme Police Department with a description of them to get them back.